Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors at Trillium. I was talking with a construction worker recently. One of his feet is in a cast. See, he was on a construction site, a wall fell over, but he couldn't get out of the way fast enough. And so the wall fell onto his foot, crushed it. And now he's in a cast for 6 to 8 weeks, and in some pain too. That can happen to us in life. These accidental events happen, and we can get crushed by them. My wife Sally and I got a chance to talk to an older man in our neighborhood who's lost his wife of many years. Pretty obvious to me that he's been crushed by her death. That life has fallen hard on him and her dying. The patterns of his life that used to make no sense without her. You can sense the loneliness and the hurt inside of him. He's been crushed hard in her death. In some ways, very similar to the construction worker, in some ways very different. I've been reading a couple articles of people who have done really silly things, careless things in life that have boomeranged on them, and life's come back and crashed hard upon them. That can happen too. We end up doing something that's foolish, but we get the unintended consequences of life falling on top of us for it. And that can be a really tough place to be. You can get crushed in many different ways. I've been crushed in marriage, I've been crushed in parenting, I've been crushed in friendships, I've been crushed working as a pastor in the church. I've been crushed financially, socially, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And the type of crushing I'm talking about happens to everyone. It's not unique to me, it happens to you too. We are all of us crushed by life falling in on top of us for whatever reason. Jesus, when he began his ministry, came to understand very quickly that this wasn't going to end up well for him. Life was going to crush him. Life was going to fall on top of him. He was going to get crushed hard for what he was up to. Of course, that's what happens. He gets crushed on a cross. Interestingly, though, Jesus only becomes useful to God after he's crushed. Before he was crushed, his impact was minimal. The circle of influence was small. Even in the midst of his teaching and miracle making, Jesus' total impact was tiny. After he is crushed and God raises him and transforms him in the process, God uses the crushed reality of his life. Only then is Jesus transformed into a life-giving spirit that touches the whole world. And if we want to follow after him, we need to understand it's the broken, crushed places of our lives that God will use to speak and act through in us. Those crushed and broken places are the very places that God moves through and in us. Jesus invites us who follow him to become broken bread and poured out wine for life, which means to allow our broken and crushed parts of our life to be used by God for holy purposes. But you can't drink a grape. You can't drink grapes. It's only when the grape gets squeezed and the juice comes out that the grape is transformed into wine. It's only when we are squeezed in life, when we are crushed in life, that ultimately what we were can be transformed into something that we could be. And a powerful impact can be worked out through us. As Oswald Chambers puts it, if we're ever going to be made into wine, we will have to be crushed. You cannot drink grapes. Grapes become wine only when they have been squeezed. As I've come to understand, it's only after I've been crushed that I'm very useful to God. It's only after anyone's been crushed that we become useful to God. Now, that doesn't mean we should go out and look to get crushed in life. It doesn't mean we should look for a construction site with a wobbly wall so that our foot can get crushed by it. I don't think that's what God's asking us to do. Rather, we're to draw close to God. We're to learn God's purposes for our lives. We're to learn how God acts through us so that when those crushing moments come to us, when we're crushed by life, when life falls hard on us, we will know what to do with those places in us. Instead of hiding them away, we will offer them up to God. We'll offer them to God with the knowledge that this is the very place in us that God will speak and act through. It's not what we get out of life. It's not what our faith gives us either. It's what God pours through us that matters in the end.